Some of us here, I want to tell you, you actually came into the game using your emotions rather than your sense.
Why? Can you shut up? Let you shut up, idiot. Why they talk? Are you stupid?
Life. Because you and your gang needed your friend to be Mrs. Mbadiwe. And that's fine.
You sit there and accuse me of things that you're deliberately doing. Guess what? There are lots of videos and you're just making yourself look stupid.
This episode is dedicated to one housemate, Onyeka, for successfully confusing everyone in an entertaining way. Don't you agree?
Shut up!
Liar. You're a liar.
You're
a liar.
Ebuka, these are the issues.
Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Lucy's Quick One, talking the Big Brother Naija Knows God season reunion. Today, everybody was collecting. As this person was facing this person, another person was facing another person. And I really do not know how to start, but I will start from the beginning for all those who probably have not seen it, and for all those who probably do not even understand how we got to where we are. Now, in case you're very new to my channel, please do it to subscribe down there. And of course, drop your comments on the conversation. Let's have a conversation. Now, this episode is also dedicated to everyone who have been watching the show from the beginning, because you would need your recollective skills to recall most of the things that happened in the Big Brother Naija house. And as usual, guys, when I tell you I'm writing things down, I am really jotting things down. Now, episode 4 starts with, of course, Ebuka starting the show, and then he's talking to Kassia about conversations about, you know, her husband winning the show or winning the season and how she feels about it, especially comments from people like Shaun. And of course, Kassia faces Shaun and she's like, if you accuse us of being married and not doing anything unique in the season to win the show, what did you do aside probably kissing and hugging Wani? Like, you didn't serve anything, you didn't even do anything with Victoria. Now we move away from that one. That was Kassia versus Shaun. Now we go over to KellyRae, because of course it's the winner. So Ebuka is asking KellyRae, like, you tweeted something about people, you know, going for your fame, or people saying that you do not deserve to win. Like, what do you feel about that? So while KellyRae was trying to explain his tweet, you know, I found out, or we all found out, that at some point he and Nelly fell out, and really like kind of shocked me, because I was like, what would have led to these guys falling out? Because for all those who have been watching the show or the season 9, you know that of all people, Nelly was a very cool guy to KellyRae as well as DJ Flo. So seeing that they are actually fell out really confused me. So while KellyRae was speaking, there was an altercation between Kassia and Nelly, because of course KellyRae asked Nelly about she using singing as one of her strategies, and she was like, why are we asking that kind of question? And because of the way she spoke to KellyRae and being the wife, Kassia was like, excuse you, you don't talk to my husband like that. Hence the altercation. And at that point, Nelly now says, you know what, I loved this guy as my guy, and I really did root for him, and he did support me as I did support him. It's just very unfortunate that things turned out this way. So Ebuka was like, okay, so what would have led to you and KellyRae falling out? And that was when Nelly explained that she was cool with KellyRae until after the show, after their media round. She just thinks that it's Kassia that probably said some things to KellyRae to make KellyRae, you know, withdraw from being friends with her. While she was making such allegations, Kassia and Nelly were just going back and forth in insulting each other at the highest point. And I was like, why is there so much, like, the tension on this episode was really tight. So while they were going back and forth, Ebuka was like, okay, so even now that you and Nelly are fighting, that's Kassia and Nelly, you guys are fighting, what exactly led to you guys fighting? And that was where Nelly was like, Kassia is just a bitter person. Kassia is angry because, you know, she had a conversation with Kassia about Onyeka, and she, Nelly, went to tell Onyeka about the whole thing. The moment, ladies and gentlemen, the moment Onyeka's name was mentioned, it was like, forward march, let's go. And then Onyeka was like, yes, Kassia is a liar. Kassia is a liar. So we left KellyRae versus Nelly, we left Kassia versus Shaun, and now we were at Kassia versus Onyeka. So Onyeka was calling Kassia a liar, and they were going back and forth with the whole thing. Before we knew what was happening, Onyeka was able to rope KellyRae in, and she says that KellyRae made a tweet, and then under the tweet, KellyRae insulted her fan and stated that, you know, or insinuated, implied that she, Onyeka, was one of the housemates that doesn't have her bath, like probably wants in a week or twice a week or something like that. And then Onyeka was like, everybody knows that I had my bath. Everybody knows I was always having my bath. In my mind, I was like, how did we get to the point of having the bath? And then this now became a conversation that they were now dragging for the longest before KellyRae was like, you know what, in fact, I said it, you are the one, you didn't have your bath. Can we rest now?
Terrible things about me.
Me too.
They've got, I love person talk now. You know where?
While KellyRae and Onyeka were going back and forth with the whole conversation, Onyeka kind of found a way, guys. You see why I said that the confusion was quite entertaining? Was able to bring Kassia back into the conversation and this time had to mention Victoria's name. So Onyeka was like, you know, Kassia is just a vile person, she's also a wicked person, she's a liar, and then somehow, you know, she and her gang just hated her. In fact, even KellyRae said hated her. KellyRae was using her for clout. In my mind, I kept on saying, how did KellyRae use you for clout? Because I couldn't just help but laugh. Like, how did KellyRae, after I won the show, was using your name for clout? Interesting. So Onyeka was accusing Kassia of, you know, trying to make Victoria Mrs. Mbadiwe. This one is for all those who were saying, oh my God, like episode 3 was too short and they didn't talk about the Mbadiwe situation for long. The moment Onyeka said that, Victoria began to make noise. Victoria started saying, excuse you, my name is being mentioned, what's going on again here? And then Kassia talked for the longest. In fact, I kept on watching Kassia and I was like, this lady, if you leave Kassia alone, she will scatter everywhere. She will cause a lot of problems because while Nelly was even talking to her, Nelly was very calm. But you see, Kassia was just shouting, that small body, it's a lie, nothing, like everybody calm now. So the ball of contention moved from all of the verses, this person versus this person, we now came down to the major reason, like everything was just streaming down to this particular person, Victoria. Now Victoria today had time to like have a conversation with Onyeka and dealt Onyeka different kinds of receipts. So Victoria finally got the time to talk, and then Ibuka was like, what exactly is going on? And then Victoria talked about the fact that Onyeka tried to get close to her. Onyeka was the one that brought up the whole triangle thing in the first place, and then Onyeka kept on telling her that if she was interested in someone like Ozee, she just mentioned it, like she was bringing the whole friendship card towards her, but she was not taking it. And then she revealed that at some point when Onyeka was saying that, oh, I don't want to be in a triangle with you, so if you want Ozee, have him, she said to Onyeka, I'm just cruising. And if I do not even remember anything from the Big Brother Naija show season 9, I would remember this particular part that Victoria talked about. How much Onyeka kept on saying, see, there's a triangle, if you like Ozee, go for Ozee. I remember that conversation, and I remember how Victoria kept on saying, I'm not really interested in the guy. And not only did Victoria say that, her actions during the show, especially towards the end, showed that she was not really interested in like having a thing with Ozee, but Ozee was around her. And let's not also forget that Ozee was also playing a game. I remember I talked about it in one of my episodes while I was giving a review on the show. Ozee was playing the game because he knew that this girl was strong. He knew that Victoria was well-traveled. He knew that Victoria was also very intelligent. So he was trying to understand Victoria's game, hence his closeness with Victoria. So it wasn't even as if he wanted a romantic thing, but he was playing that route. And Victoria, being the smart girl that she is, decided that, okay, this man wants to know my game. Okay. I would also play him at his game because he was always juxtaposing the amount of wins that Victoria had and the amount of wins that he has had. But unfortunately or fortunately, Onyeka thought that it was going to be a romantic thing, and that's why till now she still thinks that way. So while she was saying all of that, Onyeka came back and said, it's a lie, you were the one that came on to me, you were the one that was trying to, like, you know, bring my friend into the whole thing. I found out that your game was actually a triangle, and then because Ozee was involved in this whole situation, that's the reason he actually paid. And Victoria was like, I do not even understand. Now let's quickly pause, because I remember that even during the reunion, guys, you know, Onyeka said to KellyRae that, you know, he even coming out to say that any housemate has not had their bath, whether it was he was implying about or somebody else, was just very nasty of him to have said about any housemate. And KellyRae was like, you have called people names on the show. You have said a lot of bad things about people to another person, and nobody is holding you for it. So how is it that you, the kettle, is now calling me black? Now, going back to the old Victoria and Onyeka situation, Onyeka, while she was saying that she was trying to protect her friend, at some point stated again that it was a competition. Nobody came with any friend into the house, so she didn't see any reason why she had to protect anybody or be friends with anybody. But the same Onyeka was now saying that, okay, Ozee is my friend, you're trying to play him, so I was trying to protect him. So while Victoria was arguing for the longest that I wasn't playing this guy. I was just trying to like catch cruise, and I told you about it. You immersed yourself in the situation. Onyeka was not having. She was like, no, you were forcing yourself to be Mrs. Mbadiwe. And I just, see guys, I was just laughing at the whole conflicting statement from Onyeka. Onyeka would say one thing, then say another thing. Now, Ebuka had to be like, okay, before we end the show today, Onyeka, you're saying that, you noticed that Victoria had this kind of strategy, but you said hateful things towards her. Was it, when did you find out that Victoria had this strategy? Was it after the show or during the show? Then Onyeka was like, after the show. Then Ebuka now said something. Ebuka is also a lawyer. Ebuka now said, so you know that most of the things you said about Victoria, from calling her slow to all the bad names you called her, was said during the show. How did you want to defend that? She was like, she still sensed it during the show. I was like, come on now. Onyeka. Onyeka, come on now. Pick a struggle. It was how she kept on also saying, I'm not a liar. I'm not a liar. I just like, Onyeka, what is this? See, seriously, for all those who watch the show, I would say this. I like saying this most of the time when it comes to Big Brother. Just enjoy the entertainment. Don't get too carried away with the emotions and everything, because long story short, those who would reconcile at the end of the day will reconcile. Those who will go on fighting for the longest will go on fighting, because while Onyeka kept on just saying things like, Ozee is her friend, that she was trying to protect him, she didn't want a triangle, she didn't want anybody to use his head and everything. Your strategy, going against this person's strategy, she was talking about, oh, this person's strategy was not right, this person's strategy was too intense. She too had a strategy as a human being. So you can't be, like KellyRae said, you can't be a kettle and you'll be calling the pot black. Everybody on the show had a strategy or the other. Whether or not they decide to play it clean, whether or not they decide to be responsible, whether or not they decide to have a sheep in the house, whatever it is that you wanted to do, you actually did have a strategy. Now, Ben and his pair, of course, his pair didn't come. But I would say that, probably his pair didn't have the strategy like that. But Ben was just being himself as well. Was being a very funny lad. He's one person that probably think really didn't have so much, like when it comes to strategy, was just being himself, being close with Chizoba, which we all can see. For all those who have been watching, seeing them on social media, you can see that Chizoba and Ben are still very good friends. They still hang out together. But for every other person, they just had strategies and everybody was just giving. So just like Ebuka said, I don't think anybody should be pained that anybody decided to use whatever strategy that anybody decided to use. So this whole Victoria and Onyeka situation, to me, I just feel like it's not needed. But to be honest, watching it, Victoria calmed herself down and gave a lot of receipts to show that, see, I was not coming for this your man, this your bestie. I never came for him. This is what I wanted and I stated it. And then while Onyeka was shouting, say with your full chest, Victoria was like, this is my full chest. I'm saying what I'm saying. Onyeka was just going round, she successfully just confused us, but she also, I will not take this part out, she also successfully entertained me watching the show. So let me know what you think about the whole episode 4 in the comment section, about Onyeka and her outburst with KellyRae, as well as Kassia and Victoria. Also, I don't want to push this down anybody's throat, but honestly, I did admire the way Nelly respected and was there for KellyRae. I really didn't wish that they ended this way. So let me also know what you think about KellyRae and Nelly having their own fallout in the comment section. This was a hilarious and interesting episode, and I laughed my heart out. I got you more right here on this channel. Till next time, remember to enjoy every moment. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Bye.